This is News 3 Now, live at 4, moving forward.
Good afternoon and welcome to Live at 4. First at 4, Vice President Kamala Harris has made her choice.
She's picked Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to be her vice presidential running mate atop the Democratic ticket. Skylar Henry has more from the White House.
A large motorcade pulled up to greet Minnesota Governor Tim Walz in Philadelphia ahead of his first campaign rally as Vice President Kamala Harris's running mate.
Why pick Tim Walz?
A source close to Harris says she picked Walz because of his record as governor and in Congress. The Army National Guard veteran worked as a high school teacher before his political career. Harris is counting on Walz to take the fight to the Trump campaign. It was the first to call former President Trump then running mate J.D. Vance weird.
But we're not afraid of weird people. No. We're a little bit creeped out, but we're not afraid.
While the Harris campaign is looking for Walz to broaden the ticket's appeal to moderates and independents, Vance responded for the Trump campaign, painting Harris and Walz as too liberal.
Tim Walz's record is a joke. He's been one of the most far-left radicals in the entire United States government at any level.
Vance was also campaigning in Philadelphia Tuesday ahead of the Harris rally with Walz.
We know that there are 6 or 7 states that are going to decide this election. We think that it is shameful that Kamala Harris is running from tough questions from the media. So I'm going to go to every single battleground state that I can. I'm going to answer tough questions. I'm going to talk to people because that is the minimum that you should do if you want to be the president or vice president of the United States of America.
Harris and Walz plan to campaign in 6 other battleground states following tonight's rally in Pennsylvania. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
Harris and Walz will be in Eau Claire tomorrow afternoon. Their planned stops in Georgia and North Carolina may have to be rescheduled as Hurricane Debbie continues to dump torrential rain throughout that region.
Yeah, Vance will also be in Eau Claire tomorrow as he plans to shadow the Democratic pair throughout the battleground tour. And once again, News 3 Now will be in Eau Claire. We will have coverage of both events.
Well, much of southern Wisconsin saw heavy rain mixed with thunderstorms last night. They probably woke you up overnight. Today, our Sky 3 drone found damage in the village of Cross Plains. The worst of it focused on Cross Street, just a couple blocks north of Highway 14. The video you're seeing here shows a large tree knocked over along with other trees nearby with their tops snapped off. But luckily, there have been no injuries reported.
And of course, it was a long night also for Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. He was keeping everyone to date. Now he's on the patio with what is now a quiet forecast.
Great job, Alex. We'll drop a latte off out there for you.
Yes, I actually could use a little pick-me-up. I thought maybe I might need a third cup of coffee after last night. We had tornado warnings over far southern Wisconsin in southeast Green and southwestern Rock counties earlier in the evening, and then supercell thunderstorms came out of Iowa. They maintained their intensity, producing funnel clouds near Boscobel and then damaging winds near Soldier Grove, and then we just saw the damage in Cross Plains. That same line briefly weakened and then re-intensified, producing more damage as it moved off towards Walworth County. Again, supercell thunderstorms are rotating storms that have a long history of producing damage across as they move from west-east across the area last night. The rains that we had also quite appreciable, 1, 2, some isolated amounts higher than that across much of southern Wisconsin. Said the lesser amounts would be closer to the Wisconsin-Illinois border, and that verified far southwest Wisconsin, south of Platteville towards Dickeyville. They didn't get anything at all. Nothing out there in radar 3000 right now. We still have the clouds trying to clear out here, but what a difference, though, a day makes with temperatures cooling on down. We're right around 70 degrees, breezy conditions, dry right now, and as we plan the rest of the night tonight, we'll cool down into the mid-50s for a change. Just how long this pleasant, quiet, cooler stretch of weather lasts, I have the answer in a couple minutes.
Yeah, it's much cooler, doesn't it?
Yes.
I dare say it feels a little fallish out there today.
Crossed my mind.
Yeah.
We're not ready for that.
Nope.
Okay, all right, Alex, thank you.
Yeah.
Southern Wisconsin, as Alex was just saying, has seen a lot of rain throughout the summer, and the latest round of storms may have jolted you awake last night. Did you hear him?
Kept me up a little bit.
Me too.
Very loud. Well, there is some good news, though, as Madison is continuing to work to mitigate future flooding. Kyle Pazorski reports.
On sites like this one on the far west side, native plants are being placed to help rehabilitate the landscape. City engineers say it's a way to help reduce flooding across Madison. You, of course, can't talk about flooding in the city of Madison without mentioning the 2018 floods. It was then when engineers began studying ways to reduce future flooding. Here at the lower Badger Mill Creek ponds, work has come to fruition this summer. Watershed Program Coordinator Ryan Stencham says seeding new native plants will help soak up more of the storm water.
Typically, these plants are deeper rooting. They're adapted to the climate here in southern Wisconsin, and so that deep rooting helps really water soak into the ground better and infiltrate better, so you get a bit less runoff associated with that.
The city expects work to be completed on the site by July of 2025. In Madison, Kyle Pazorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. The city says the area will be maintained by an ecological firm for several years following the current restoration management in order to ensure long-term success of the native seeding.
A 14-year-old has been charged with reckless homicide for the hit-and-run crash that killed an Oregon man last month. Police saw a suspect try to break into a car in Milwaukee. Officers then turned their squad car lights on, and the suspect fled into a Hyundai and drove off. While fleeing, the car hit and killed Mark Jones, who was driving a motorcycle.
Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett is highlighting the successes of the mental health team roughly 2 years after it was formed. In 2022 to 2023, the Sheriff's Office saw a 22% increase in mental health related calls. Since then, the office has turned 4 community deputies into mental health deputies and partnered with Journey Mental Health to have embedded crisis workers available to respond to calls. Deputies and crisis workers work together to find the best path forward during those calls.
As information continues to come in throughout the contact with the individuals, then they can continue to be flexible in their response, where law enforcement may need to step in or take a step back, and our mental health providers may need to step in or take a step back. Very flexible.
Sheriff Barrett says the office needs another mental health deputy to help with the current overworked deputies, as well as a new facility in Dane County for those in crisis. Well, Madison is not meeting the demand for housing.
But what about the supply that's needed to make that happen? Our Ellie LaLiberte joins us now with a look into one of the factors impacting the city's housing crisis. Ellie?
Yeah, Susan, you've probably seen downtown construction this summer, and some of the projects are an attempt to help Madison's housing crisis. But construction faces challenges of its own. Since the pandemic, one of the challenges facing Madison's housing market is material and labor shortages. This shortage can make materials more expensive or delay projects. Some of the materials in the shortage include electrical components. Matt Wachter, the director of the city's Department of Planning, Community, and Economic Development, says he noticed firsthand what this can do.
We're working with a developer who was planning to open a very large apartment building, and because they had a couple of delays along the way, because of labor shortage, because of some materials coming late, that they might miss their planned opening date.
Madison has an extremely low vacancy rate of roughly 3 to 4%, which makes housing expensive and difficult to find. For context, the city's rate is roughly 3%, while a healthy rate is 5%. And tonight at 5, you can hear from a developer about what other shortages he's noticed.
We will see you at 5, Ellie. Thank you. You may know that News 3 Now and SSM Health partner in a series of children and family health related stories we call Time for Kids. And in our next batch of stories, we'll be centering them around technology.
Our Jalen Banks joins us live now from National Night Out in Mazomanie to show us this upcoming series. Hey, Jalen.
Brady and Susan, yes, I'm out here at National Night Out in Mazomanie. We're about an hour out from it starting, but families and different departments are starting to roll in. But this past fall and winter, we brought you the Colorful Connection series with Time for Kids, which centered on giving back and lending a hand to your neighbor. This time around, we bring you the digital playbook. Now, you may be wondering at home, what exactly is that? It's a guide for families and their children to learn how to use technology safely. That ranges from understanding different settings and safety measures when using social media and other settings on your phone, understanding what exactly is appropriate and not appropriate content online, as well as proper protocol online with being respectful and things of that nature. Now, this evening, we'll be handing out the playbook itself. It's just different tips that are listed on there as well. And with that, there is an agreement that parents and their kids can sign, reassuring and assuring themselves that they'll be following this playbook so that their children can properly be safe when using technology and social media and everything in between. So we'll be out here from now and throughout our 6 o'clock show, having different live shots, having live interviews, and showcasing just how important it is for our children and our families to understand content online and using technology and social media safely. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you guys in studio. In Maison Maney, reporting live from National Night Out, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
All right, Jalen, thank you. When we come back, drop boxes are unlocked in Madison and ready for your absentee ballot.
And we're tracking Hurricane Debbie and the mess it's leaving behind. That's next.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Champion's Big Window Sale is back.
Do you have ugly, hard-to-open, drafty windows? Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows, because when you buy 2, you get 2 free. Buy 2 Champion windows, get 2 free? I guess that means if you buy 4, you get 4 free. Buy 6, get 6 free. Buy 10, get 10 free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy 2, Get 2 free sale is for a limited time.
Great job, everybody. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Joe Biden made Kamala Harris border czar to fix immigration. First, she ignored it.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
At some point.
Then she just lied.
The border is secure.
10 million illegal immigrants. Migrant crime out of control. Fentanyl kills thousands.
We have a secure border.
Kamala Harris. Failed, weak, dangerously liberal.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
My mental health was better, but uncontrollable movements called TD, tardive dyskinesia, started disrupting my day.
TD felt embarrassing. I felt like disconnecting. I asked my doctor about treating my TD and learned about Ingrezza.
Ingrezza is clinically proven for reducing TD. Most people saw results in just 2 weeks. People taking Ingrezza can stay on most mental health meds. Only #1 prescribed Ingrezza has simple dosing for TD. Always 1 pill once daily. Ingrezza can cause depression, suicidal thoughts, or actions in patients with Huntington's disease. Pay close attention to and call your doctor if you become depressed, have sudden changes in mood, behaviors, feelings, or have thoughts of suicide. Don't take Ingrezza if you're allergic to its ingredients. Ingrezza may cause serious side effects including angioedema, potential heart rhythm problems, and abnormal movements. Report fevers, stiff muscles, or problems thinking, as these may be life-threatening. Sleepiness is the most common side effect.
Take control by asking your doctor about Ingrezza.
You're all looking for something new.
New?
At US Cellular, new and current customers can get the new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 or Z Fold 6 on us.
I usually just try out a new look, but that sounds lit.
I heard their cameras have new Galaxy AI features.
Have what?
Galaxy AI.
Gonna get one now.
I'm fine.
New and current customers get the new Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 6 or Z Fold 6 on us. US Cellular, built for us.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Demery today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
The August primary election is just a week away, and the city of Madison today unlocked drop boxes for absentee ballots.
This comes after the state Supreme Court ruled drop boxes are legal again. Madison's Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway says the city has 14 drop boxes, and similar drop boxes will be available around the state. Speakers at today's news conference said those drop boxes make voting more accessible. Sam Liebert from the group All Voting is Local says the state has more than 1,800 clerks, and they understand the unique needs of voters.
And they know that drop boxes are an invaluable tool in making voting more accessible, especially in our rural areas where distances and limited hours can pose significant challenges. The reinstatement of drop boxes is not just a return to a trusted method of voting, but it's a reaffirmation of our commitment to the democratic principles.
If you decide to mail in your absentee ballot rather than use a drop box, the U.S. Postal Service recommends mailing back the ballot no later than 1 week prior to an election.
The National Transportation Safety Board is holding a 2-day hearing on the mid-flight blowout of a door panel back in January. Executives from Boeing are being questioned about the frightening incident on board a 737 MAX jet during an Alaska Airlines flight. A preliminary NTSB report found that 4 bolts that helped secure the door plug were not replaced after a repair job in a Boeing factory. NTSB Chair Jennifer Homendy insists the hearing's goal is to improve safety by looking back at what went wrong in the months before that flight.
This isn't a PR campaign for Boeing. What I want to know, what we want to know, is what happened in March, April, May, June, July, August, September, leading up to this. Leading up to what happened in January.
Earlier this year, the FAA put a cap on Boeing's production of 737 MAX planes until its safety measures improve. Boeing has committed to increasing employee training and communication, strengthening the anonymous reporting system for employees, and boosting supplier oversight. Well, as Debbie slowly makes its way up the East Coast, the storm is dropping historic amounts of rain on coastal Georgia and the Carolinas. We were just talking about my parents in Charleston, South Carolina.
Well, and that threat is expected to last for days. Christian Benavides has more from Savannah, Georgia.
Debbie flooded streets, knocked out power, and damaged oceanfront homes in Edisto Beach, South Carolina.
I mean, it was kind of crazy to see a storm hit like this. Never really seen roads this flooded before.
The storm lashed Charleston overnight with sheets of unrelenting rain. And with many roads underwater and more rain expected, the mayor has extended a citywide curfew until Wednesday morning.
I know this is frustrating to some. The reality is that nobody should be out on the streets in these conditions.
Debbie is still causing problems in Georgia. There are plenty of flooded streets, and about 47,000 people began the day with no power. The governor says another 4 inches of rain could soak residents, up to 8 in some areas. He's warning everyone to stay diligent.
Do not let this storm lull you to sleep, as a lot of affected areas right now are not experiencing rain and high winds. But both models are showing that rain will come back.
Here in Savannah, Georgia, cleanup is underway. This tree was uprooted as we felt the worst of the storm overnight. It fell on this home. A woman and her 4 children were inside.
It was out of my hands and everybody else's hands. You know, it's nature, but it's still like moving forward. What do I do?
At the airports in Debbie's path, it's been a rough start to the week. On Monday, nearly 1,900 flights were canceled. And with more delays inevitable today, the airlines have all issued travel alerts for many airports in the southeast. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Savannah, Georgia.
Well, Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington has also been tracking Debbie. So what are you finding, Alex?
Right now, Brady, Debbie's just hugging the coast between Georgia and South Carolina, just south and west of Charleston. And with the storm just meandering, very slow movement, we still see that tropical feed coming right off the Atlantic, repeated bouts of showers and thunderstorms. And then when you have a hurricane come inland, the threat usually transitions over to not the strong wind so much, but the heavy rain and then the persistent tornado threat, which is often to the right of the center of the area's circulation. So South Carolina, North Carolina also in that threat zone for the potential for tornadoes, and some places picking up, get this, 25 inches of rain in total. It's unprecedented, and that is not uncommon when you have, like I said, a tropical system just hanging out without any steering to push it along. Nothing like that in southern Wisconsin. Now, we've had our share of heavy rainfall and strong winds and some damage. Thank goodness that it's been isolated. The good news is temperatures have come down drastically. Low to mid 70s. We're staying a little bit cooler towards the southern part of the state where the clouds have been hanging on. A little bit warmer to the northwest in the upper 70s where the clouds are starting to thin out. We've got got 74 in Madison, 73 in Verona, and 74 to the north up towards Wanakee and DeForest. Look at the dew point, 57. This time last night it was near 70. So that really tropical feel, gone. I actually have a little post going on my meteorologist Alex Harrington Facebook asking people, how do you like this? It's through the roof. A lot of people are really enjoying the cooler weather and the less humidity out there, except for a couple, but that's okay too. I enjoy walking in the warmth as well. 4 o'clock in the morning, temperatures going down into the middle 50s. Could see a little bit of patchy fog. Nothing on radar 3000 in Dane County. Nothing on radar 3000 as we widen out, look across the rest of southern Wisconsin. But you can see where those persistent areas of thunderstorms really moved across southern Wisconsin, southwest, right through Iowa, right through Dane, over towards Jefferson, down towards even Janesville, Rock, and Walworth counties getting clipped by a bit of rainfall. I said the far southwest would likely get out of the path of this potential of heavy rainfall, and that verified. And speaking of rainfall, get your phones out right now if you want to send us your rain gauge totals or storm damage photos. I hope you didn't have any storm damage, but that QR code is a great way to send us those weather photos, so I'll leave that there for a moment. Thanks, Janice from Sun Prairie, showing us that rain gauge filling up. A lot of areas in southern Wisconsin receiving water, and many areas actually needing a little bit, even though it has been a wet year across southern Wisconsin. It's been dry lately, and the grass needs a little bit of water, and so do the crops too. Going out into the future, not a lot of rain in our forecast. We're going to dry out, but the good news is no heat, no humidity. Look at these temperatures, everybody. 50s by night, mid to upper 70s by day. The AC is going to get a break so we can save a little change over the next couple of days in southern Wisconsin.
Sounds pretty good. Thanks, Alex. There is a new celebrity couple in Southern California. A pair of giant pandas.
5-year-old male Yun Xuan loves his bamboo, and 3-year-old female Xing Bao is, quote, the smart, adventurous one. They are the first new set of giant pandas in America in more than 2 decades, and they'll be making their debut this week at the San Diego Zoo, signifying goodwill between the U.S. and China and a concerted effort to protect the beloved bears.
It's kind of soothing to watch them, isn't
are, yeah, especially when they play too. It just makes you happy.
Hail, hey, this will make bike riders happy. They can rejoice over this.
Ride the Drive returns this weekend. We'll have a preview of what to expect when Live at 4 continues.
When treating shoulder pain, I think one of the most important things that we need to do is listen to our patients. Most times, just listening to the patient, letting them explain what's been bothering them, I'm able to help confirm a diagnosis.
Make summer unforgettable with help from Menards. Whether you're soaking up the sun or relaxing indoors, we have what you need to get you ready for summer fun. From creating the perfect place to entertain family and friends to stocking up on your favorite summer essentials, Menards is your one-stop shop for your next summer adventure. Check out all the hot deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
I'm the proud son of a single mom.
My mom worked nights to provide for us.
My mom worked 80 hours a week.
But Eric Hovde thinks if you have a single mom, you're going to be poor or a drug addict?
That is a direct path to a life of poverty. It leads to higher drug rates.
That just shows Eric Hovde is ignorant.
Come on, I'm successful today because of my mom.
I learned my work ethic from my mom, my single mom.
What is wrong with this guy?
When a crane collapsed during construction of a Major League sports stadium, 3 workers lost their lives. Their widows called us. When maintenance workers were permanently injured by an industrial accident at a public utilities power plant, the 7 injured workers called us. When a factory exploded, injuring dozens of workers, 18 victims, including all 3 families of men who lost their lives, called us. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Owning my own home is nice. You can just come home knowing that it's yours. It's a sense of pride, sense of ownership, and enjoying it with everyone I love and care for.
Make a lasting impact on local families in need. Please donate today.
Insurance costs going up? Erie Insurance has great coverages, rates, and claim service. And your rates won't increase because of celebrity advertising campaigns or sports stadium sponsorships. Call Affordable Insurance Solutions for your auto, home, or business quote and see what Erie Insurance could do for you.
Donate blood at Stoughton Health's upcoming blood drive on August 16th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The event will be hosted at our Community Health and Wellness Center. Sign up online at bloodcenter.org.
Welcome back. In the 608, we're looking ahead to Ride the Drive this weekend. It's making its official return to the capital city.
Josh Spreiter is at Lakeside Park with the impact this event alone has on the community.
We are gearing up for the annual Ride the Drive event happening this weekend inside the City Parks office, learning a little bit more about how you can help make this event even more successful this year. John Wackelt is the volunteer coordinator. John, good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
So we are talking about Ride the Drive, and this has become such a tradition over the years, but you guys won't be able to do this without the help of volunteers.
Yeah, we had about 300 volunteers to find for this event, and we need about 20 more volunteers yet, so we're really close.
So why are volunteers so important for this event?
Because they have to help with everything from merchandise selling to the intersection guides, which are so important to just make sure people are safe going through those intersections. And if there is a car that has to get across, that they can help that car get across. So volunteers are just so integral to just make this event happen.
And you guys are expecting, thousands of people here this weekend.
Yeah, it's hard to know exactly how many people, but we hope to have about 10,000 people. And so across 6 parks, it just takes so many volunteers to just run everything from the balloon tents to inflating balloons to everything like that.
So for folks that might not be familiar with Ride the Drive, what is this event really about?
It's really about having open streets and having folks experience the streets without cars for a little while during the day so that they can kind of just enjoy the city and enjoy the parks that they go through and just activate some of those parks and just really just kind of experience the joy of the city.
And this has been a hit over the years. You guys keep expanding this across even more area.
Yeah, we've really added a lot. Down towards the university, we have Edward Cleef Park, which is down by the university, and then we come down to Olin Park, where we are now, and then we go out to Willie Street as well, out to McPike Park. So it's quite a long distance, but it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Great way to explore the city. So if people are interested in volunteering, like you mentioned, 20 spots available. What is the best way for them to do that?
There's about a day left to sign up at ridethedrive.com. So find those volunteer spots and scroll down and find those spots and sign up now.
And help make a difference for a great event.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Awesome, John. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. If you'd like to volunteer, I've placed a volunteer link right on channel3000.com, making it nice and easy for you. You can help make this event another successful one again this Sunday here in the 608. In Madison, I'm Josh Spreiter, News 3 Now.
That looks like fun.
Oh, it is fun.
Yeah.
Have you never done it?
I've never done it. I don't have a bike.
Well, this year we should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really great. You can ride your bike right down John Nolan Drive, and it's kind of cool to be over by Monona Terrace without a car on the road. It's neat.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's fun.
Pretty over there. Well, coming up, the former Waupun prison warden makes another court appearance today.
We will have that and what changes the city of Madison hopes to make for next week's big moving day downtown. That's when Live at 4 continues.
The one thing Kamala Harris has always been: fearless. As a prosecutor, she put murderers and abusers behind bars. As California's Attorney General, she went after the big banks and won $20 billion for homeowners. And as Vice President, she took on the big drug companies to cap the cost of insulin for seniors. Because Kamala Harris has always known who she represents.
This campaign is about who we fight for. We believe in a future where every person has the opportunity not just to get by, but to get ahead. Where every senior can retire with dignity. But Donald Trump wants to take our country backward, to give tax breaks to billionaires and big corporations and end the Affordable Care Act. But we are not going back. I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Shop from the largest selection of Chevy trucks and SUVs in Wisconsin at Bergstrom Chevrolet. All with Bergstrom's negotiation-free upfront pricing, including our exclusive 7-day price protection and money-back guarantees. Stop in or shop and purchase at BergstromChevrolet.com.
Oh, why leaf filter? It's well designed, efficient. I appreciate that.
Leaf filter's technology keeps debris out of your gutters for good. Guaranteed.
What more could you ask for?
Call 833-LEAF-FILTER today or visit leaffilter.com.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. Trust your home with RG Heating and AC.
After careful review of medical guidance and research on pain relief, my recommendation is simple. Every home should have Salon Paws. Powerful, yet non-addictive. Targeted and long-lasting. I recommend Salon Paws. It's good medicine.
I'm running to fight for an America where the economy works for working people, where you only have to work one job to pay the bills, and where hard work is rewarded, where reproductive rights are not just protected by the Constitution of the United States, but guaranteed in every state, because that's our America. And that's the America I believe in.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Let's take a look outside. Oh, this is great. Is this Vitance Golfland?
Sure looks like it.
Everybody getting ready. That's a fun way to spend the day today after a bumpy, stormy night tonight. And actually, it might be a little chilly to be wearing shorts. A stretch of quiet are the weather words. Nobody's happier to hear that than Alex. He had a long night. And it's nice to open up the windows, Alex, and turn the AC off for a while.
Yes, give the AC a break. I actually came in with a jacket on today. Just a difference between that sweltery weather we had yesterday that produced those thunderstorms to today, where a lot of folks are posting on their social media. It's just that hint of fall. We're not quite there yet. I'm sure summer will make a return to southern Wisconsin. Radar 3000, high and dry. Nothing on Radar 3000. Not expecting anything anytime soon. Widespread 1, 2, some isolated 3-inch amounts of rain last night with those thunderstorms that really came through during the overnight hours and also producing damage across parts of southern Wisconsin. Even a funnel cloud reported in Boscobel late last night. Right now, dew points measure of moisture, they're down in the 50s, as cool as, look at Viroqua. 52 degrees. As you get dew points in the upper 40s to lower 50s, that's very, very dry, actually, and that allows our temperatures to cool down at night. It's going to be a cool night across southern Wisconsin. 74 in Madison, 70 in Monroe, 72 in Janesville. Cooler to the south, where actually even here at the studios, we're still hanging on to those clouds. A little warmer to the north, where they've had a little bit more in the way of sunshine. A lot of 74s, a couple 73s and 72s. Doubt anybody's complaining. It feels pretty good out there. Low temperatures tonight getting down to about 56 degrees. Definitely a night to open up the windows. You might need an extra blanket. But how long does this stretch of quiet last? We'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
Alex, thank you. The former warden of Waupun Correctional Institution was in court today facing charges related to the deaths of 2 inmates at the facility.
Our Braden Ross has the details from Waupun.
Just 2 months ago, Randall Hepp was the warden here at Waupun Correctional. Now he's sitting on the other side of the criminal justice system. He is now charged with misconduct in office after the deaths of 2 inmates at the prison, one who died of a stroke and another whose death was ruled a homicide by dehydration and malnutrition. 8 other prison staff members have also been charged. Tuesday afternoon, Hepp pleaded not guilty to that felony charge. A scheduling conference is set for the end of September. This is just part of bigger scrutiny facing the Department of Corrections. Just a few weeks after Hepp was arrested, a guard at Wisconsin's only youth detention facility, Lincoln Hills, died after an altercation with an inmate. The Wisconsin Senate Judiciary Committee met in Merrill today, just south of that facility, for a hearing with DOC Secretary Jared Hoy and several other current and former corrections employees. Hepp's arraignment also comes just one day after a fifth inmate died at Waupun Correctional this year. Now, that fifth death is still under investigation, but authorities have said they do believe it was self-inflicted. Reporting in Waupun, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
Thank you, Braden. The city of Madison is notifying people of the 2025 budget proposal.
Madison's budget gap will be $22 million next year. In response, Madison agencies submitted proposals for the budget that include options for a 5% reduction in services. Our Meryl Hubbard talked with city officials, and she joins us with their reaction about the proposal. Meryl?
Yeah, Susan and Brady, if all proposals are adopted, it would cut 147 positions from the city's workforce. This is in addition to the current 144 positions that are already vacant. The city explained these cuts will come out of different departments across the board, but the city referendum, if passed, could alleviate permanent cuts in services. Metro Transit, Madison Streets, Public Health, Police, Libraries, Fire, Finance, Civil Rights, and at least 14 other services will be directly impacted by the cuts in workforce the city is considering. Mayor Satya Rose Conway has outlined two scenarios for the 25 budget. The one being without new revenues, which would cut out at least 25% the proposed services from agencies all over Madison, or two, the scenarios with new revenues from a property tax referendum. If the referendum gets passed and put forward, the city would still have to reduce 1% of services, but would avoid permanent cuts.
So that's the main feature of a referendum. It would, this year, mean that, as I said, we would avoid having to go to cuts. It's also a continuing source of revenue, so it's the way the state law structures it. It's $22 million every year going forward. It doesn't rise, so the city keeps growing.
The city referendum in question would raise $22 million in additional revenue through property taxes. The cost for the average homeowner will be an additional $20 per month. This could be on the November ballot if the city approves the resolution. There's a public meeting tonight at 6:30 p.m. where you can give the city your input on the proposed referendum. The council's vote on placing the referendum on the ballot is 2 weeks from today.
Meryl, thank you. Wall Street snapped a 3-day losing skid with a recovery that left all of the sectors ending on a positive note. The Dow Industrials gained 294 points, the Nasdaq 166, and the S&P 500 nearly 54. Well, students and others in Madison are preparing for the big move out. The city of Madison began getting ready for move outs at 6:30 Monday morning.
A lot of work to do. Tanisha Shaw spoke with city officials on how you can help the community while moving out.
Moving days are underway right here in the Isthmus. City officials tell me where to take the items that you are looking to part ways with.
Now until August 23rd, the city's recycling department will have an additional route going around downtown Madison starting at 6:30 in the morning to collect items that students don't want as they prepare to move out.
Why park like some of this good furniture in the landfill or put it out on the street and hope it gets magicked away? Because anything usable that was on the street last night is ruined now because of the heavy rainstorms we had. Like, why run that risk? Why so it's hoping somebody just magics it away? That is not the right way to do this with these good usable things. Make that little bit of effort, make a phone call, take something to one of these like many donation opportunities that we have, because your usable goods help support their missions. It's everything from the Humane Society to St. Vinny's, even places like Goodwill and that. You know, there's a lot of options here locally.
As more across the area prepare for their own moves, Brian Johnson is asking residents not to wait until the last minute. Getting an early start helps to avoid hoarding the limited available spaces on the streets. Reporting in Madison, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Good luck, everyone. Glad it's not me. These temporary routes only apply to the Isthmus in Madison. Again, the recycling department will collect furniture until August 23rd.
Back to school sales and Labor Day specials.
Consumer Reports shows us how you can find some good buys during this month when we come back.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling. one call, that's all.
مكتب محاماة جروبر، مكالمة واحدة، هذا كل شيء.
جروبر 律师馆，一个电话就够了。محامية جروبر هالمر نسوع. Oficina Gruber Law. Una llamada, nada más.
Ufficio degli avvocati Gruber. Ci vuole solo una chiamata.
No matter how you say it, it's always one call, that's all.
We've all seen these ads by Senator Baldwin attacking me. She's lying to you. But that's what career politicians do when they get in trouble. The truth? I was born and live in Wisconsin. I've never run a nursing home, and of course I believe seniors should vote. The false attacks are going to keep coming because she has nothing to run on. Her record has failed us on inflation, the border, and crime. I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message for this reason. It's time for change.
Service and savings. It's Woodman's.
Hi, we're the Woodmans. I'm Clint.
I'm Phil, saving you huge money on facial tissue.
Fiora facial tissue, 3 packs for $2.89 or 4 packs for $3.29.
Ay caramba, hot prices on facial tissue.
$2.89, $3.29.
Fiora is top quality, half the price of national brands.
Better products, better prices, better service because we're employee owned.
It's Woodman's. Everyone knows kids are messy, especially in the summertime. Back to school. Your home isn't clean until it's Stanley Steamer Clean.
At Harker Heating and Cooling, you can save a whole bunch of money when you buy an air conditioner. You know what's even better? Saving even more money when you purchase an air conditioner and a furnace at the same time.
Harker Heating and Cooling.
New at 5, the housing crisis is deeper than just demand. Discover how other factors are delaying solutions and pushing Madison's low vacancy rate to critical levels.
Much of southern Wisconsin enjoying cooler and significantly less humid weather after last night's storms. Coming up at 5, I'll let you know how long the pleasant weather stretch will last.
And ahead at 6, Madison faces a $22 million budget gap in 2025 with potential cuts in key services. We walk you through what it could mean for your wallet tonight at 6.
I think we're both in denial about this. Summer is winding down somehow, and August is jam-packed with big savings events like the back-to-school and Labor Day sales.
Consumer Reports reveals the best deals on some of its top-rated products.
Those long summer days are getting shorter, but there's some good news this time of year. End of season and other late summer sales. Here are a few of the top discounted products Consumer Reports says to look out for in this month's best time to buy.
This August, what you'll see sales-wise is really focused on back-to-school shopping. So if you're looking for tech gadgets for your kids or things for their dorm, anything like that is going to be on sale throughout the month.
A new laptop is a great way to kick off a new school year. The Lenovo IdeaPad Slim 3i is priced as low as $449.99 at Staples. CR says this 15.6-inch display has a touchscreen and considerable battery life that could last beyond a full day's work. If you prefer something sleeker, go the tablet route. This Apple iPad is as low as $299.99 at Amazon. It's a 2022 model that aced CR's tests in performance, photo, and video. With a mesh Wi-Fi network, you can ensure that homework and other tasks are done efficiently throughout the house. The TP-Link Deco Whole Home 3-pack is as low as $129.99 at Amazon. And for college students, save some money by making coffee in your dorm. This coffee maker from Mr. Coffee is $49.95 at Walmart. And don't forget about Labor Day early next month. The sale starts soon.
Those discounts tend to start around the middle of August, where you will see big savings on mattresses, large appliances, and seasonal items like grills.
This flat-top grill from Blackstone is as low as $249.99 at Amazon. CR says this 28-inch flat top maintains even temperatures across the surface on both low and high heat. A great grill to pair with a great ending to your summer. This is Jeff Cullen.
Those are all good ideas. What if you're looking for something else?
Well, Consumer Reports says you can also expect discounts on dehumidifiers, freezers, microwaves, printers, steam irons, and vacuums, and more this month.
I still can't believe it's Labor Day sales we're talking about.
Not ready.
When we come back, UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff has some recommendations on making sure your kids are ready for school.
And why you should be careful about how much dark chocolate you eat. Oh no, that's after the break.
Welcome back to Portage Furniture Store, your forever furniture store. Mr. Aaron Ayers, what does that mean?
Welcome back, Emmy. Yes, when we talk about forever furniture, we talk about generation-lasting, heirloom-quality custom furniture. Case in point, we live it every day. My wife and I, we have a chair in our home that my grandfather sold to my wife's grandparents. Generation-lasting, third-generation-lasting furniture.
Long before you and Jen had met. That's an incredible story.
We find love at Portage Furniture.
He can promise that right there. And still free delivery, amazing service from your crew.
We talk about it all the time, the best in the business. Bring it in, set it up for you, move it left, move it right. They are the best.
They're going to take care of you. And it looks like the fourth generation, they're just swooping right in. They're making some decisions here, Aaron.
They're trying to kick us out the door as quick as they can. They're anxious and they're ready to go.
Kenley, are you ready to work in the store someday?
Yeah, I was born ready.
That a girl. High five. We've all had those moments in businesses where you see the salesperson come at you and you're like, oh man, I haven't even had a second to look. Except that doesn't happen when you come to Portage Furniture.
That's right. Really, it's a pressure-free environment. Really no pressure at all. We like the customers to be able to get a chance to look around, to really sit down on the furniture, to lay down on the mattresses, to really, again, have the no pressure atmosphere here at the store.
Absolutely. But they also know their stuff. So when you're ready, when you need them, when you have the questions for them, they're going to be here and they're ready to go.
Yeah, that's right. Our staff and our salespeople are very well knowledgeable and they know the product and everything too. So any questions, they're here for you.
From the entire Portage Furniture family, I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison.
If you're about to replace your roof, stop. There's a solution about 80% less expensive. 9 out of 10 roofs can be saved by RoofMax. Guaranteed to extend the life of your current roof by 5 to 15 years at a fraction of the cost of a new roof. RoofMax's deep penetrating power restores flexibility and water protection. Nobody wants to replace their roof. Restore it instead with RoofMax for 80% less. Call now for a free roof inspection.
Kamala Harris has taken on gang members to get justice for victims, taken on big banks to pay back people they ripped off, taken on drug companies to cap insulin at $35. Now she's running to take on greedy corporations who jack up prices to lower everyday costs for working families. They're spending millions on ads attacking her because she'd be a president who fights for you. FFPAC's responsible for the content of this ad.
There's a nice look at Charlotte, North Carolina. 76 degrees and rain is expected in just 2 hours.
A little gray and cloudy there, but not the kind of rain they're getting in South Carolina, so that's good news.
Well, kids will be getting ready to go back to school in a few short weeks. And back to school means, well, back to viruses. What parents and caregivers should be thinking about right now.
And there is also an interesting new study that's bad news for chocoholics like us.
Sorry for your loss.
I know, yeah, seriously. It finds that dark chocolate especially may contain excessive amounts of heavy metals. UW Health's Dr. Jeff Potoff is here for his weekly visit. Hi, Dr. Potoff.
Hey guys, how are you?
Let's start with back to school, even though we can't believe we're talking about that already. You know, we have sort of stopped talking about COVID completely, but it's still with us. So when you get your school supplies, should you be getting COVID tests and masks?
Yeah, I think, it's always probably a good idea now that we have over-the-counter COVID tests to have a few of those on hand, because that way when you come down with some symptoms, it's a whole lot easier to run to your bathroom, take a home test, and know whether or not you have COVID, and then you can make decisions based on that. Masks, not like during the pandemic, pandemic, I don't see us like masking like that, but sometimes it's helpful to have masks around to protect yourself, especially if you have a family member who has got COVID and now you're trying to isolate at home and things like that. But yeah, we are seeing COVID that's out there. It's on the increase. Certainly not seeing as much severe disease as we used to, but it still happens.
It seems like it's in the realm of the flu where we just have to be prepared at certain times of the year. So do parents need like a preventative measures list or like refocusing on hand washing, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think there's always some good reminders, especially as we get closer to going back to school. We definitely want to make sure that we're washing our hands. That can do a lot to prevent the spread. I don't think we'll see masks in the classroom, but at the same time, this is not new news, but it's hard to do. If you have kids who are sick, keep them home. If you're sick, don't go to work. Take that COVID test. If you're positive, make sure you're not having symptoms. Things are getting better before you go back to work. Those are the things we can do that seem easy, that can really reduce the spread of COVID-19, albeit admittedly it's sometimes hard to do.
And quickly, a couple months ago, we talked about a combination COVID flu vaccine. Will that be ready for the fall?
Not for this fall, but there's a good chance next fall we'll have a single shot that will protect us against influenza and COVID. But this year, you'll still need to get them both.
Okay.
Now the big topic, dark chocolate. So why can't we eat this now?
You know, everything in moderation, I think, is probably a good saying. This is a study that looks at dark chocolate and it containing heavy metals, namely lead and cadmium, both things that aren't particularly good for you. You know, I think when we look at this, it's more important to know that exists in dark chocolate. It's not to say we can't, you know, completely, you know, get rid of dark chocolate. That's not what they're saying. But we probably should eat these things in moderation. Lots of times these heavy metals are in the soil. It's picked up into the cocoa bean, and it can be a little bit difficult to get rid of.
Or in the processing.
Or in the processing. Sometimes, especially with lead, there can be lead in the soil when they're drying out the beans and things like that. I think there's two things here. One, if you're a manufacturer of dark chocolate, probably got to do a little bit more work to see if we can eliminate how much heavy metal's in there. If you're a consumer of dark chocolate, you just got to limit your intake to about an ounce, maybe an ounce and a half a day. And if you can, you know, don't eat a full chocolate bar every single day. There's probably lots of reasons why we should be doing that.
Well, the study was interesting because it looked at chocolate bars, dark chocolate bars across all brands, and it found high lead levels or elevated lead levels in all of them.
In all of them, which probably means that chocolate plants like to grow in soil that probably is somewhat rich in cadmium and lead, but then there's still like broad variability. Some have much more than others. So it's probably hard to figure out like which chocolate bar has more or less, but just be mindful about your consumption.
Interesting. Very. All right.
Thanks, Dr.
Thanks, Dr. Potoff.
Well, Alex, you can treat yourself to some chocolate, but in moderation.
Yeah, I will do that in moderation, and I like milk chocolate, by the way.
Okay.
So put that out there on the record. Good news, Radar 3000 here. Nothing on Radar 3000 now. Nothing like what we saw last night with those on and off thunderstorms. Some of those were severe. We have cool temperatures across southern Wisconsin behind that weather system, especially south and east of Madison, where we're still hanging on to the clouds. A little bit warmer off towards the north and towards the west. A lot of 72, 73, 74. Beautiful night to get a jog in, take the dog for your walk, but you might need a jacket, not a suit jacket, but a light outdoor jacket. Temperatures getting down to 56 to start off tomorrow morning. Here we go. We can track that, warming up into the mid to upper 70s. Maybe a few clouds filling in towards the afternoon hours, but a gorgeous day across all of southern Wisconsin. And we stay gorgeous every day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. You're getting the picture here. And I'll step out of the way. We start warming up finally by the time we get into the middle to the end of next week as warmer and more humid air start to move towards southern Wisconsin. And as we get out into next week, those storm chances will eventually start to slowly increase in southern Wisconsin once again. We'll be right back.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
I'm the proud son of a single mom.
My mom worked nights to provide for us.
My mom worked 80 hours a week.
But Eric Hovde thinks if you have a single mom, you're going to be poor or a drug addict?
That is a direct path to a life of poverty. It leads to higher drug rates.
That just shows Eric Hovde is ignorant.
Come on, I'm successful today because of my mom.
I learned my work ethic from my mom, my single mom.
What is wrong with this guy?
The Sun Prairie Sweet Corn Festival runs August 14th through the 18th. The famous 80 tons of steamed corn, rolled in butter and lightly salted, is served Saturday and Sunday only. Visit sunprairiecornfest.com for complete details and hotel discounts.
With Sweeto Metal Roofing, you get quality metal roofs installed by the best in the business. A metal roof means no fading, no storm repairs, true sustainability, and lower energy bills.
Sweeto Metal Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Empire's quality and customer service were absolutely amazing. The installers were so conscientious. I have and I will continue to recommend Empire.
800-588-2300
Today, I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message. This is America's border czar, and she's failed us. Under Harris, over 10 million illegally here. 250,000 Americans dead from fentanyl. Brutal migrant crimes. And ISIS now here.
Do you have any plans to visit the border? You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making.
Kamala Harris, failed, weak, dangerously liberal.
New at 5, the housing crisis is deeper than just demand. Discover how other factors are delaying solutions and pushing Madison's low vacancy rate to critical levels. Then the former Waupun prison warden was in court today. What happened and how we got here? Coming up next.
From damaging drought to catastrophic flooding and severe storms in every season, the News 3 Now First Warn Weather Team gives you a deeper understanding of Wisconsin's ever-changing weather with special reports that go beyond the barometer. Only on News 3 Now.
Take a look at this, a hidden treasure trove of baseball cards. Workers found 52 collectibles stashed in the walls of a barn in New Hampshire. An antique Ted Williams card among the bunch. The memorabilia dates back to the 1930s and 40s. Now, Tony believes they belong to her late husband, Billy, who ended up in the University of New Hampshire Hall of Fame for his own sports prowess. Home run of a find. We'll be right back.
Donate blood at Stoughton Health's upcoming blood drive on August 16th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. The event will be hosted at our Community Health and Wellness Center. Sign up online at bloodcenter.org.
I became a nurse to make lives better. Today, that's hard to do because of the open border. I've seen firsthand the damage that Kamala Harris caused as our country's borders are. Hospitals everywhere are overwhelmed, and American patients are paying the price. My patients are covering the healthcare costs for people here illegally while their own care is jeopardized. Kamala Harris is weak and dangerous.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Right now, we're running our 60-60-60 sale. So when you purchase your new concrete coating, you get a $60 Visa gift card plus either 60% off installation or 60-month no interest financing. This is one of our best deals of the year. So visit our website or call the number for your new floor today.
When did I call Leaf Filter? When I saw my gutters overflowing onto my porch.
Leaf Filter is a permanent gutter solution, so you never have to worry about costly damage from clogged gutters again.
It's the easiest call you can make.
Call 833-LEAF-FILTER today or visit leaffilter.com.
We've all seen these ads by Senator Baldwin attacking me. She's lying to you. But that's what career politicians do when they get in trouble. The truth? I was born and live in Wisconsin. I've never run a nursing home. And of course I believe seniors should vote. The false attacks are going to keep coming because she has nothing to run on. Her record has failed us on inflation, the border, and crime. I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message for this reason. It's time for change.
Dr. Ravel is one of the best. I mean, you can't ask for any other person in orthopedics that I've ever seen, and I've seen a lot of people in orthopedics, let me tell you. Ortho team and Dr. Ravel are wonderful.
That's it for Live at 4 today. Brady's in the newsroom with what's still to come. Brady?
Well, tomorrow on Live at 4, coverage from Eau Claire as the city will be the focus of both presidential campaigns. And next at 5, we hear more about the still high cost of housing materials and a COVID supply shortage that still has not caught up to demand. Thanks for watching Live at 4 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right after this.